Like and follow if you love horror. From the briefing room came a roar that shook the structure. Ronnie prepared to charge across the building, but Joe Jack slid in his way. I do believe young Saferstein has words, and Mama told me there weren't no man's business between womenfolk, he said. She'll rip her head off. Ronnie's eyes were clearly wide under his shades. In Miranda's office, Diana stood before her enraged leader. Sharp, animalistic teeth slowly retracted back into Miranda's mouth, and she turned away from Agent Saferstein, almost as if ashamed. This had better be important. It was almost unintelligible. There was a snarl curling every word. Agent Amwanka... I'm never going to get this name right. Fuck. Ronnie acted appropriately, and Agent Giuliani died heroically. Diana stated simply, your assumptions about both agents do them a disservice. I did not ask for your opinion, nor does your opinion change anything. Miranda was able to speak clearly again, but the low growl still emanated from her. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. Diana straightened up. Ronnie placed Agent Giuliani on the perimeter with both myself and Joe Jack. This was an appropriate place for a vested agent of Giuliani's capacity, the only place for him without raising suspicions about the nature of our detail. Furthermore, damn it, Diana, I did not ask for nor do I want your advice. Miranda roared again, her voice again becoming almost unintelligible. Diana took a step forward towards Miranda and stiffened up again. Furthermore, she said, her voice... She raised her voice for the first time since joining the team. Ronnie worked specifically within the parameters of the assignment as defined by you. You hung in the air like the tolling of a bell. And Agent Giuliani, knowing absolutely nothing about the supernatural, addressed the UP admirably. First giving the order to surrender, then opening fire with his weapon we let him walk onto the field with. Miranda's whole body visibly flexed. Each muscle rolled unnaturally of its own mysterious animation. Within a few seconds of this, her body relaxed and she flopped back into her seat, rubbing her face slightly. We let the agent walk onto the field, improperly equipped, with no training, and we gave him the impression that we were trying to capture the UP. Diana left an uncomfortable pause as she assured herself of the importance of what she was about to say next. But we're not, are we? Agent Giuliani was confronted by a living construct, acting in the spirit of the FBI's prime directive, and died because that's not what we're there to do. Miranda leaned back in her chair, opened the bottom drawer of her desk, and pulled out an unmarked bottle of amber liquid, then poured a glass. Normally, my response to this kind of insubordination is much more severe. But it took guts to come in here, especially for a normal. It shows you're earning your stripes, and in an apartment where that can literally get you killed. She took a sip and blew out lightly. I have a reputation of being a tyrant, but that's our job. Our job is always impossible. The nature of the job is impossible. However, we must do it the way we are forced because we do not have a choice in the matter. Diana knew what Miranda was implying and scanned her thoughts for a proper way to respond. We never have any intention of apprehending these UPs, do we? In my years in the UPD, I have never once seen it done successfully, Miranda confessed. I'm not sure I can do this job in good conscience. It goes against everything I believe in as an agent of the FBI. Diana didn't skip a beat. Miranda made a strange face Diana had never seen before. For Miranda, it was a kind of poker face. She was observing Agent Saferstein. You got nowhere to go, kiddo. It's time I leveled with you. I think you've earned it. I wanted you, of course, but they practically threw you to me. She took another sip, let out a breath, then looked directly into Saferstein's eyes. The UPD might as well be the garbage bin they tossed you in. Normally, we only get agents with the spark, of course, but if the FBI had their way, they'd shut us down forever. So when they're looking to get rid of problem agents, they sometimes hand them to us like fodder. I have an immaculate record. I've never been disciplined. Diana scrambled for a response. Save it. Miranda slugged down the rest of her drink. The Bureau is a political organization, whether you want to believe it or not. You don't fit into the description of what they want. A young, highly intelligent, talented black woman with what I'm pretty sure is a high level of high functioning autism, whose capacity for profiling is, in one word, astonishing, was taking the shine off the standard suit. The FBI, even today, is still a boys' club, and your inability to play politics or read social situations makes you hard to get to know or feel camaraderie for. They didn't just hate you, they resented you, and they literally did whatever it took to be rid of you. They sent you to me because they were hoping I'd be sending you back in a pine box. Miranda's bluntness seemed cruel, but it had a sort of motherly, teaching the duck to fly feeling behind it. She needed Saperstein to know, and now was as good a time as any to tell her. She watched Diana collapse internally. It was everything. God damn. It wasn't every day that a person discovered the rhetoric they'd been fed was total rubbish. I refused to believe that I was sent here to die. Diana tightened her stance and clearly quivered. Her eyes teared slightly. Miranda actually had a reason to smile warmly for the first time in a long time. She'd been on the end of that news once before, and she knew how it felt all too well. You're not gonna die. Not on my watch. And you're right, Agent Giuliani isn't our fault. The FBI proper might not know who we are or what we do, but the brass knows we have a reputation for sending agents home on their shield. Any task force with the UPD has to be approved by a higher up, someone who knows. He was approved for the same reason you were. He likely threatened someone's status that he shouldn't have. She shook her head. You're in a once-in-a-lifetime kind of agent, but all they saw was a political rival. To be honest, if I didn't swing in and scoop you up, they'd likely have found a way to dismiss you from the force or force you into retirement. Saperstein looked like a computer caught in a loop, but she refused to cry. Don't give them this. Don't you dare. Miranda was stern, but still on the side of being motherly. I know what you're capable of, and maybe you'll never get a promotion or take charge of your own unit, but you'll do what you are meant to do better than anyone else. Miranda sighed deeply and pinched her temples, unable to believe what she was about to say. I've never seen a UP apprehended, but perhaps with your unique capacity to see the structure of things, we might yet be able to. I want your word that we make every effort to bring in this construct and not destroy it. Diana locked eyes with Miranda, enough where Miranda had to fight her instincts to take it as a challenge. The fact that Diana was holding back tears helped soften her up a bit. This one isn't even alive. You're trying to bring home a chair. She watched Saperstein's eyes. The woman was inches away from breaking. Every effort, Miranda finally acquiesced. I need to talk to someone about my position here, Diana confessed. I'm not sure if that's wise, but I don't want you to assume I'm trying to stop you from going to an authority above me. Perhaps it's time you make your own discoveries about the workings of our department. Miranda opened another drawer and handed Diana a card. It simply read, Human Resources, and provided a number. When you're ready, call that number. It's going to sound like a dead line. Just state your name and badge number into the phone and wait. What I wouldn't give to just talk to a shop steward right now, Diana said. Technically, that's Jura, Miranda answered. Now get back to work. I need to deal with the death of Agent Giuliani. Now you gave me an idea. I do believe that boy deserves an accommodation for his sacrifice. Not every day a neutral dies facing down a UP and stands his ground. Diana looked down at the card, then back up at Miranda, then down at the card again. She wasn't sure what to do with herself, but she did have a job to do so long as she was employed with the UPD. She headed back to the briefing room, where both Ronnie and Joe Jack were standing flabbergasted. Wolf burst into the room, causing Jira to dive under his desk like to hide before he realized it wasn't a normie. I think I know where. He paused, seeing Diana's shaken look, and let his arms drop to his